Hi, family. Today I'm talking about something I've been looking into called Acre Traders. Acre Traders, right? Acre Traders, for those of you that don't know, are the 59, are some of, or the 59 white South Africans that have been flown here to America first class by Donald Trump, um, first class, when he had shut down all immigration, right, coming into the U.S. And he put that on pause um, to be a hero, not to us in America, but to the people, some whites that live in South Africa. Um, these people come from families that have occupied 90% of South Africa. Now, these whites only take up 7% of the entire population in South Africa, yet they own 90% of the land and have been in power for many, many years. Do your research, right? And while in power, they subdued the land in South Africa, pushed the original people of Africa, the blacks, into a state of poverty while they live in luxury, right? So now the South African people have decided no more. Enough is enough. We're taking back our land, and we're going to make things more fair. And, you know, when I say take back the land, I'm talking about they give them the option of you can live here. We will allow you a certain amount of land, but for one person to own like hundreds of acres and 10% of Africans, which really make up 90, well, I should say the 90% of Africans that live there own very little land, very little, maybe 2%, 3% of the land in South Africa. Now, as you do the math, there's 7% of whites owning 90%. It's already, fucked up, right? So anyway, they decided to take back the land. And now Trump is, put on his cape, flying them over here, the Great White Hope, right? And now check this though, for the people that voted for Trump, which was a lot of these farmers down south. As you probably heard, they've been losing their land, their farms. Some of them, a lot of them could have been helped by monies that had been already allocated for farm helper, to help the farmers. Every year, right? Every president has always put money, billions aside for the farmers. Well, he raked in, and took that money from the farmers. So now they've been losing the farms down south, a lot of them. From what I understand, even Bill Gates have been buying up the farms down there. So now what Trump has decided to do, excuse me, is to fly these white South Africans in, and we didn't hear about what's his name, J.D. Vance, for a long time. He's been missing in action. What he's been doing is over in South Africa, wheeling and dealing, coming up with deals that so that the white South Africans can come over and take the farms that has been lost by people who had owned these farms, these people who have had family members, probably hundreds of years, have had generational farming in their families, and they lost it not because of mismanagement of money, but because, well, COVID, and then there's a whole lot of other stuff, but mainly because their own president, their king, right? King Donald Trump, the orange face, lizard face, I should say, maggot king. He didn't want to give them. So now, reciprocity, right? These farmers voted for him knowing that he was a hateful man. And he told people what he was going to do on a lot of levels, and they listened to him anyway. So now, these white South African people are coming over. They say they were being mistreated, In other words, they were being treated the way that blacks have been treated over here, for the last 400 years. And he feels that is just appalling. So now he's to the rescue for his people. But he claims he's not a racist, though, right? Now, he can't help. He don't want to help us. He can, but he don't want to help us. But he goes all the way across the Atlantic to help South Africans, right? So now these people are going to take the place of the farmers over here. And if he can have it his way, he's going to be flying in a whole lot more that's going to be relocating in America, and doing the same thing that they complained about illegal aliens taking up jobs, taking up opportunities for the real Americans, right? This is like the ultimate hypocrisy, right? But that's who he is. And see, the thing about it, he's doing the best that he can do. He as a person and he representing white people. The only thing that's left for a lot of these hateful white people is chaos, disaster. It's like they've hit that glass ceiling. There's no more growth in them. You know what I'm saying? And these are the people that are in power, and these are the ones that the silent whites and others who could have been fighting against this a long time ago silently sat to the side and said, "Oh, it's okay. It's just Donald being Donald." You know what I mean? And now, yeah, the maggots are now getting reciprocity. God is in this right here. He's spanking that ass, a spiritual ass whooping. You can't get away from it. You know what I'm saying? It's worse than a strap or any other type of whipping. Spiritual ass whooping is one that you have been owed, and God has just said enough is enough, right? So he has confused these people to where they are now eating each other. They are turning on each other. They are taking from each other. They are destroying each other. You understand? And, all in the name of trying to make it look like it's justifiable. But we see with, our glasses are clean. We can see very clear what he's really doing. But what's really sad, though, is that so many of these hate-filled people that have been tricked, poor white people, y'all need to wake the fuck up, man, for real. If usually when you get a sucker, sooner or later, they wake up. And when they wake up, they're not going for it no more. They chose the right thing to trick you. They made you feel that you were better than black people. And let me just say for the record, there ain't nobody better than black people. Nobody on this planet, right? Better than African Americans, better than Africans, all right? Let's just get that straight. And that's not me being superior. That's just me stating the facts. Check our record. Check our history. Look at what we have contributed to mankind and into this country here. But I just want to say this right here. The one thing that you can do is start to repent. Take a look at your condition and see that it has not worked. It is going against you. You've been misled. And right now is the time for you to act like you're waking up and start joining in with the rest of us. Because it's always been about class, right? And the rich have played y'all like worn out slippers. You understand? So right now it's time for you to step off from that game and get on to the game with the rest of us. Peace.